And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Planet from Blue Orange Games. Now, Planet, one of the things when I saw Planet, I was thinking of the last big box games from Blue Orange Games that had a kind of a sciencey type theme, photosynthesis, and just how cool that one looked. Well, this one I found cool because this one came with a three-dimensional globe that has metal sides to it that you'll be sticking magnets on so that when you're done, you're going to be forming a globe that has oceans and mountains and things like that. Okay, that's a gimmick, obviously, but it's an interesting gimmick. Let's hope there's a good game behind it. In this game, you're going to take these tiles, these magnetic tiles, and shuffle them into groups of 5 and place them in a line out here like this. And then you're going to place random cards from a deck of animal cards. You're not going to use all in every game, and place them exactly as I'm shown here. This is going to be a 12-round game. Each player is going to be given a dodecahedron globe, and one player is going to get the starting marker. Now, each turn, you're going to turn over the 5 tiles that are there. And you can see these tiles are made up of different types of the terrain. We got water, ice, earth, mountains, and desert. And starting with the start player, you're simply going to take one, and you're going to pick a spot on your globe and put it on there. And then after that's done, you'll pass the first player marker, and we'll do the same thing with the next one. So maybe I'll take this one here, and I'll put it here, making my desert area bigger. And then after the next one, maybe when it's my turn, I get this one here and place this like this. You can place them pretty much anywhere you want. Now, if there's any cards in a row, after you're done putting the tiles on, you're going to compare. This card is going to be won by the person who has the largest mountain area that's also touching sand. So for me, I have a mountain area here that's 4 that's touching sand. This is a mountain area that's 1 that's touching sand, but this is my biggest one. If I have the biggest one, I get the card. If someone else says they get the card. If it's a tie, the card will go to the end to be dealt with on the final turn of the game. And so as you can see, each time there will be a card, and eventually there will be 2 cards and then 3 cards. Sometimes the card will go to the biggest mountain terrain that's not touching forest. Here, the biggest ice terrain that is touching water, while this one is the biggest ice terrain that's not touching water. And then there's a few cards that just say whoever has the most sand areas on their board is going to get this card. Now, there are tiles here. The tiles that are not chosen, that are not drafted, will be placed here at the end. And so as the course of the game goes by, those last areas will have some tiles for them. So there's always going to be plenty of tiles. And when you're finished, you're going to have a complete globe like this. So here's my finished world, and you can see all these on it. Now at the beginning of the game, each player will be given a card, and this will show what terrain you like the best. So here I have forest. So I'm just looking for the number of triangles for my forest here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I did not do a very good job of putting my forest together here. And so I didn't even get 15. Had I got 15, I would have got 2 extra points. If I get 27, I'll get a maximum of 10 points. Players will then also add up any animals they might have gotten. So let's say I got these animals here. Each animal that matches my terrain type, like this one, is worth only 1 point. The other animals are worth 2 points. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Hey, by the way, remember I said there's no ties? At the end of the game, if you ever have a tie, these animals get thrown to the end. And at the end, if you have a tie, then you go to the second biggest group, then the third biggest group. So ties are broken, but only on the final turn of the game. Whoever has the most points is the winner. Okay, so you can see that the box is a nice insert to keep everything in. These are nice, they're solid, they work really well, and then when you put the whole globe and all the magnets on it, it just looks, it's a really cool looking device here. And we have the different magnets here, and they look good. You know, they're kind of a little bit of a pain to shuffle. I guess, because they're magnets, but they're not too bad in that regard. My only complaint maybe would be the cards. I mean, I love the artwork on the cards. Looks great, you know, to see the different animals and things, but they're not the best quality. That would be my only complaint about that. But other than that, it looks fantastic, and I'm telling you, the chunkiness of this and to be able to pick this up and move it around is definitely going to attract people to the game for sure. Blue-Orange Games, able to take the simple and make it a lot of fun. This is a tile laying game, right? So you can essentially unfold this globe and put it down, but actually you need the globe to work because the things are going to wrap around. Sure, you could have a map and say everything wraps around and touches, but it wouldn't look as cool. So you're sitting here moving around looking for the best spot to put these things. However, don't be alarmed. It can't take forever. You have to decide which one to draft. That actually takes longer, I think, than where to put it, because usually you're like, yes, I'm going to make my water area here bigger. I'm going to make this area bigger, but try not to let the water touch the desert because I can see the animals coming up. And so sometimes the longest thing to draft is you take something. Sometimes you take something because you don't really care which one you get, but you want to stop the person after you who you are pretty convinced is the forest and take theirs. Speaking of which, this game has that thing that a lot of these games have where it's so secret which terrain you are, but everyone knows halfway through the game what terrain everybody is. And if they don't, and you're like, I fooled everyone, then you're probably not scoring many points for the terrain. Happily, you do not need to score heavy points in a terrain to win the game, because it gives you a lot of points. And by the way, the cards are not balanced. I mean, they're balanced, but they're not the same numbers. Like the ocean tile, you need more ocean tiles to get 10 points than you do to get desert, but there are more ocean spots on the tiles in the game. I thought that was kind of a little cool, clever twist. But you don't need to do those. You just concentrate on animals. And if you don't have a lot of your area, like ocean area, if I'm the ocean guy and I don't put a lot of ocean and I'm collecting other animals, then those animals are going to be worth 2 points each, so maybe that will cover the points I don't get from the card. The game is all about forward thinking. You can see every animal scoring card that's out there, unless you play one of the variants where some of the animals are hidden, which would make a lighter, interesting game, but I think that I'd rather see all the animals that are out there, the animals that are coming. And since you can see what's coming, you can say, okay, I need to have a big ocean area that's touching sand, so that's what I'm going to go for. But if I do ice, I might get 3 of those animals out there. However, Bob just drafted the ice and then Mary took the other big ice. Maybe I should go for something different. So again, this is not some complex game. It's literally 12 turns. You pick a tile each turn, you put that tile on your globe, and then you win prizes or not. That's it. But it works. It works thematically. When you're done, you have a little globe. You get to learn about the animals and their terrain. Okay, minor learning there, but it's there. It's a game that people are going to have fun doing because, you know, some people like to play with pieces over the whole game. Here you can't really do that because you're playing with your globe and moving it around and looking at it. And it really, especially if you want to play a family game and younger kids and things, it really teaches that forward thinking. Hey, this is going to happen at the end of the game. You need to start planning for that now. This is going to happen on turn 8. You better start planning for that on turn 2. So great. A wonderful family game. Definitely one of the best family games of the year, honestly. One I think that has a lot of staying power, but also works well as a gamer game. It has a lot of good tactics and strategy in it, and it plays fairly quickly. Highly recommend it from me. Plan it. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent.